And Vaughn Duggins playing extremely well here in this first half.
Harold was the consummate Wright State Raider fan.
Second nature, I guess.
Welcome to the Irvin J. Nutter Center and Raider Roundball.
Boy, if we had a Mount Rushmore for athletics, Gordy Wise would be on it.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you here to the 2019 Wright State University induction of the latest Hall of Fame members.
This is a very, very special night. We do a lot of events. I don't want to get in the habit of saying, hey, this is the 25th time we've been to an event with, catered and people. This is different. This is special. And if you're a competitive person, like virtually everyone in this room is, and if you work in athletics especially, you end up having debates of how good a player, how good an administrator, how good a person is this person. Well, here's really good people, right? And there's super good, and there's great, and some of the greats. We're here to honor people who are way above that, right? There's good, there's great, there's Hall of Fame. I mean, Hall of Fame as in Cooperstown type Hall of Fame.
And we're going to get started right now. We're going to start with our first inductee, of course, Harold Miller and his son, Rick. Please welcome Rick.
Dad would just be thrilled that he's going into the Hall of Fame tonight with Gordy Wise. The last person, and not the least, of these pioneers is Coach Jim Brown. Jim was part of the program from the very beginning, and I'm not sure that he's ever really taken a break. He's still active as a radio color commentator, and it's just joy to listen to on the radio when I'm not at the games. But Dad and Jim shared a very special bond. Dad looked up to Coach tremendously in the way he carried himself, in the way he helped run the basketball program, and just loved watching Coach do his thing on the floor, whether it was coaching or at the table on radio. So that was an incredible bond. In the last few months, I want to share that Coach Brown sent a card to Dad while he was at St. Leonard's. And the gist of the card, without getting into specifics, said some things that we never say to each other, some very personal things that kind of reminds you why wait to let people know how you feel about each other. These two gentlemen very much respected each other, loved each other, and Jim, you were a great part of his life. Thank you.
Calling the games for the number of years I have, I can always remember him coming over and talking with us all the time, and we loved it. We absolutely loved it. I mean, if he didn't make a game, I was concerned if he wasn't here. God rest his soul, and what a wonderful family that he has. Congratulations. All right, Bob Grant talked about her a few moments ago, and as the GOAT, the greatest of all time in track, Cassandra Lloyd.
Well, it's quite an honor tonight to be able to introduce my daughter. She is one of 8 children, and so she ranks number 6. And so she had a lot of competition to deal with, even just going to the bathroom. Before I introduce Cassandra, I want to say this. My wife and I have spent thousands of dollars to watch her run 13 or less seconds. Just had to say that. Spent hours in the heat. I mean, Vaughn, at least your parents got a whole game, Okay? I mean, we spent thousands of dollars, hours upon hours to watch her run 13 or less seconds. I just had to say that. Is that crazy? And so at this time, without any further ado, my daughter, Cassandra Lloyd.
I always say a prayer before I run. And my favorite scripture that's carried me throughout track and throughout my life is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that's definitely carried me throughout my life. Thank you to my family, to my parents, especially. As you can tell, they've instilled great values into me and kept my faith strong throughout my life. And my teammates at Wright State, I was surrounded by a great group of women here at Wright State University. Tiffany Brigham especially, she ran track with me in high school at Springfield South and also here at Wright State. She's a couple years older than me. Definitely pushed me, was definitely a role model. She actually accomplished a lot here at Wright State before I arrived and was just that motivator for me. Went to regional championships, one of the first to do that as a female track athlete at Wright State. And definitely Coach Fabe, he's the one who brought me, encouraged me to come here to Wright State. His interaction with me in high school, came to a few track meets, checked me out, and came to a visit. Although Wright State didn't have the facilities, hopefully you guys are working on that track, but that didn't discourage me from coming. He definitely not only wanted to build you as an athlete, but as a person. He was a father figure for a lot of people who didn't have that male role model in their life. He definitely pushed us to be better athletes. I don't think I would accomplish as much as I did if it wasn't for him, his encouragement, and just the values and the skills that he had instilled in me. Just thank you, everyone. Thank you, the board, who elected me, or whatever you want to call it, to be in the Hall of Fame. It's definitely an honor and a privilege, and I feel so blessed. Congratulations to all the other inductees. It's an honor to be inducted with you all. And Bob, I don't know where Bob is at, but Bob Grant, for being such a great person, a great athletic director throughout my 4 years. Bob Noss, who put everything together and was definitely instrumental with the videos. That was great. And just thank you so much. It's definitely an honor and a privilege to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame.
You can feel the love in here tonight, most definitely, and that's something we're getting is the families, and it's just great to have all here to be able to share this wonderful achievement by the individuals who have been elected into the Hall of Fame. Well, it's time now to move on to number 3. All right, let's go ahead and go to the video right now. Men's basketball player. He is the 11th men's basketball player to be elected to the Wright State Athletic Hall of Fame. Let's go to video. Vaughn Duggins.
And Vaughn Duggins playing extremely well here in this first half.
He's getting in his momentum.
Deep on the left point. Duggins crossover, gets around Williams. Pull up, off balance, off the glass. Yes, Vaughn Duggins now with 12 points. You can see on that replay how he's able to hang in the air and also get off the paint. Hands it off to Brown, double team, throws the ball out in the midcourt, stolen by Duggins. Duggins, 1-on-2, taking it to the basket, off the glass. Yeah!
His passion, his accountability, and his determination. We all know he's an outstanding athlete. We know that. But for those who are able to be inducted into a Hall of Fame, as Bob Grant mentioned, they are the best of the best. How do they get there? They work hard, all right? They have that passion, the passion to get even better. There are a lot of individuals out there who have the talent, but they don't push themselves far enough. And Vaughn Duggins was one of those. As Coach Brownell mentioned, he talked about he changed the culture of the team. Hi there. He also brought her into our life. Where's Daddy at? Where's Daddy? Were you just trying to tell me to hurry up? Okay. I like that. That you love family. I think it's great. But there were no better pair of guards in the Horizon League that year than senior Deshaun Wood and the freshman Vaughn Duggins. Vaughn, my pleasure to introduce you as the latest member of the Wright State University Hall of Fame. Vaughn Duggins.
Thank you, Chris. I'll have to admit that as soon as I left Wright State and continued to playing my career professionally, I would, anything I was doing, you know, a basketball player is a basketball player all the time, and going through the house doing between the legs moves, doing jump shots in the air, I would always have it, would do those moves with his name or his voice in my head, you know, and it was something that just never left, you know, and I was really, really spoiled with Chris and with his ability to just articulate during the games. And as I would go back and watch old games of me playing old footage and his voice, man, it just brought back great memories. And for him to come up here and do that for me was just, it just meant a lot. So thank you for that, Chris. Bryce State's not an old school, you know, but we are slowly getting the tradition and just having the passion, the players, and the following that the big schools get because of people like Cassandra, people like Gordy Wise, people like Ron Niswich, all these people, Mark Vest, all these people that are here tonight are the foundation for this university, and it's going to go to great heights because of them. I'd also just am so grateful to be here because I know I'm part of a bigger, I'm just a piece of the puzzle that is my career as a basketball. A lot had to go right, and a lot of people helped me along the way for me to make it here. This Hall of Fame induction, it means so much to me, but it also means so much to this family because we are a basketball family and we are a Wright State family, and we love it here and can't wait to spend our future here. So like Rick ended his speech with, go Raiders. Thank you.
Brown as he introduces Gordy Wise, latest member of the Wright State Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer himself.
I don't know how many of you listen to our radio games, but this guy right here is the best. I mean, he is so good. Yes. Well, this is not going to be easy. Golly. But I'm just going to start out here, and this is his coin phrase. Welcome to the campus of Wright State University and another night of exciting Raider round ball. You know, Gordy, he has a patent on that saying. He invented the word Raider round ball. I don't know when he started using it, but every Raider fan that's come to a Wright State game for a long, long time, that's how they have. That's how Gordy has introduced them to the game. And he just invented that, and I don't know when he started it, but it's like somebody said earlier. Genesis. What? At the beginning. Well, I was there, so he was at the microphone for the first ever Wright State basketball game played. The first and last games played in the PE building, including several NCAA Division II tournament games. He was there for the last second shot against Tennessee State when Sean Hammonds tipped the ball in at the buzzer to beat Tennessee State in the inaugural game here at the Nutter Center. He was there when Bill Edwards broke the all-time scoring record with his 45 points. When Delmy Harriman scored the winning basket on a full length of the court shot against Xavier with 1 second to go to beat them in the NCC tournament. He was there the night that Wright State upset number 4 ranked Michigan State. He was there for both conference wins when Wright State beat UIC and beat Butler to advance to the NCAA tournament. And many other moments too numerous to mention. How many times did he say, basket by Vaughn Duggins? That happened a few times. Basket by Mark Vest. That happened a few times. Yes, Gordy Wise has seen it all. And I'm sure Gordy can tell you many other great memories from his 49 years as a PA announcer, and I'm sure he will when he gets up here. But there's one memory that I kind of have that I want to share with you because probably none of you were at this game, but it happened in 1983. We had just won the Division II National Championship in March. And that summer, Coach Underhill got a phone call from Walt Hazard. Now, Walt Hazard, for those of you know, was a great player at UCLA, an All-American player at UCLA. Was on Johnny Wooden's national championship team maybe once, maybe twice, but he was a great college basketball player, played in the NBA for a number of years, and he was now coaching at Chapman College, which is a school, Division II school out in LA. And he called Ralph, and he wanted to see if he could schedule a game with the defending national champions. He knew he was going to have a good team. He wanted to bring him to the Midwest and test his this lad's against the best. So in December of 1983, that game became a reality. Chapman came to the PE building. They were undefeated, ranked second in the country, but things didn't go very well for Coach Hazard and his team. It was a tough night. And so behind more than 20 points late in the game, after arguing with the referees on numerous occasions throughout the game, a clearly frustrated Coach Hazard decided he had had enough. So he looked at his team, said, "Come on, guys," and he started to walk off the floor, take his team to the locker room. There was about 4 minutes to go in the game. And for some reason, he must have thought that Carl Benner, our official scorekeeper, and Gordy Wise, our PA announcer, were as much to blame for his team's poor performance as the referees. So as he's walking off the floor, he walks over to the scorer's table, picks up a half can full of Coke, and proceeds to pour it on Carl Benner's official scorebook. He then turns to Gordy, grabs his microphone, tosses it across the floor, and proceeds to walk off the court. Well, Coach Underhill and the referees intercepted him. He agreed to finish the game. We finished the game, but it was another memorable night in Gordy Wise's 49 years of doing PA. It's a real honor. I mean, Gordy's a dear friend. He's been a dear friend for years and years. When I was, Coach Ross was my high school coach, and he was the first coach here at Wright State, and he wanted me to be his assistant coach. I was the first assistant coach hired at Wright State, and I remember this vividly. I'd just gotten home from Vietnam, and John wanted me to be the coach, his assistant coach. And he says, "There's just one more hurdle we have to pass. You have to be approved by the athletic council." And I can remember going into that room with Gordy and Carl and a few other people and getting grilled about what kind of coach I was going to be. And fortunately, they approved me, and I became an assistant coach. And so our friendship goes back a long, long ways, and it's a real honor and privilege for me to introduce Hall of Famer Gordy Wise.
You know, I told Jim just now, you're a tough act to follow, but looking at this program and seeing Harold Miller, Cassandra Lloyd, and Vaughn Duggins, that's the ultimate tough act to follow, guys. Holy cow. Talk about feeling honored. Wow. This 85-year-old guy feels freaking honored. I'll just tell you that. Whoa. There are so many thank yous that are in order. Thanks to Jim. Oh, my. Jim, you should remember, where's he sitting now? That game and the intramural championship was 45 years ago. That boggles my mind. Thanks to Jim. What an introduction. I got to thank Tom Archdeacon and Rob Kaiser. Those two guys did stories that appeared in the newspaper this week that left me gasping for breath, like, holy cow, who is this guy you're talking about? Thanks to the committee who made that decision, to Bob Noss and Bob Grant. Thanks to my family, a ton of them here. Hey, I've got 7 kids and they are all here. And of my 15 grandchildren, I think the actual count's 13, and 2 great-granddaughters and a great-grandson who's still 3 months away in his mom's tummy. Thanks, guys. We're going to have a little 18-year-old cigar ritual at home later on tonight. I have two of those grandsons are 18, and it's been a family ritual for a long time, a cigar with Granddad. They don't have to finish it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of very interesting developments in the program over the years. I got to tell this, and my wife will threaten to kill me. But one birthday of mine, she just groaned. She hired a belly dancer. with the full intent of staging the belly dancers performance for my birthday at halftime at mid-court. Now, Dave Stahl was the SID then. Mike Cusack was the AD. It got toned down to the Raider Lounge after the game. And the world hasn't quite been the same ever since. Hey, it's been a ride. It's been a trip. It's been fun, absolutely fun. And honor? Come on, you can't do it any better than what you're doing tonight. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. And congratulations to the other three superstars that I am so proud to join. And hey, Carl, I'm in the hall too.